A good realtor will spend 3 hours a day calling. This is not your typical boring real estate show. This is real estate marketing redefined, uncensored, and unedited in what's working today in the market minus the fluff. This is Real Estate Marketing Dude, because just having a license isn't enough. Now please welcome your host, the unprofessional professional, Mike Cuevas.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude podcast. What's up, everybody? We are approaching the second half of the year. It is just after the 4th of July in 2020. And, typically in the second half of the year, every quarter for that matter, I used to always personally look at my business and take away what wasn't working and start implementing things that I want to do that I haven't done yet. So what we're going to chat today is we're going to do a little bit of a mid-year special. And this is going to be more of a coaching call for you guys. So I'm not going to have a guest today. It's going to be just you and I, unfortunately, or fortunately. What I wanted to chat about today was sort of how do you determine what type of videos to create? And let's just start off by saying, yeah, video's here. And you're either going to get on it or you're not. And it's here. Unfortunately, there is no more kicking the can down the road, if you will. The truth is, if you're not getting out a video, someone else in your market is. And I say that unbashful. Obviously, you probably know that I have a video marketing company, and it's why I created it, because I saw the big need for it in the marketplace. So I will be happy to do a shameless pitch of my services the entire call today. But I want this to be a coaching call for you guys, because the biggest problem, as a matter of fact, I heard it twice today. It's only, it's noon now. I heard it twice today. Yeah, I haven't gone on video yet. And, I know I need to, but I just, I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to get on it right now. The only thing that's been holding me back is that I don't know what to say or what to do. And isn't that a little bit boring? Folks, everybody feels that way. And the truth is that there's a video strategy for everyone out there. It's a video strategy for every business out there. The question is which one is right for you? And that'll 100% determine or depend on your brand, your persona, how you practice business, sort of what you do for a living. And that's what we're going to chat about today. What type of video is right for you and which ones aren't? And what we're going to do on today's episode is break down really what the two styles of videos are, and then break down every other type of video. And let's see today if we could come up with an idea or a concept that'll make you excited, because there isn't any shortage of content to create. So we're going to start here at the very beginning. And in this business, at least right now in real estate, I don't care if you're a lender, home inspector, transaction coordinator, real estate agent, investor, or anybody else. There's two types of videos, and at least what we're seeing, at least the way we create them. One is real estate content versus community content. And that's really where it starts off at. And let me explain the difference. Real estate content is any content that we are going to talk about that demonstrates what we do. So we're talking about direct real estate content, how to buy and sell at the same time, how to sell your house without an agent. What are the Chicago closing costs? The home selling timeline, buyer tax advantages you didn't know about. Anything that demonstrates what you do for a living and shows that you're well. Now, we'll first start off by talking about that, for a matter of fact, real estate content. How many of you have real estate content on your website? And what real estate content is really what I would say is what your core content is on your site. Every single website needs to have core content. And core content is any type of content on your site that demonstrates you have the authority and ability to represent them in whatever it is that you do. In the real estate world, as an agent, that's going to be a buyer series. Maybe it's 6 videos. That's typically how we do them. A seller series, maybe that's 6 videos. If you're a lender, it's a financing series. If you're a investor focusing on distress, maybe it's a short sale series. However it is core content, and it's content that you can use over and over again. So I want to ask you guys a question. Would you ever hire the individual that has no content on their website? And it's the same reason why people don't book vacations on Travelocity without any reviews. The content on your website is what demonstrates that you have the authority or the wherewithal to represent somebody. So yes, everybody needs real estate content on their website. In my website, you can visit my website and you go right to my marketing tips. Those are my core content. Every one of those articles that I post there specifically demonstrate how we practice our services. They are used and there to really help generate sales or convert leads. And think about it, like what makes you or gives you the ability to sell my house? How are you better than the top agent in your market? What is that for you, right? Well, real estate content is done just for that. And how you use real estate content is to prove that you know what you're doing. Now, over COVID, about a month ago, I read a book called They Ask, You Answer. It's right here on my desktop by Marcus Sheridan. And he's one of the guys that I follow. If you like content marketing, I strongly suggest following him. And what he talked about in that book was something he calls assignment selling. And I never realized I was always using assignment selling. I still use it today, but here is what it was in a short. Marcus Sheridan was a pool guy. He now owns like one of the largest fiberglass pool companies in the world. And he's out of Virginia. And that all happened because he started blogging and creating content, and he found a way to attract business. Now, what assignment selling was anytime they would schedule a demo with him, and don't quote me on the words, I'm using these as hypothetical, but they're close. Anytime someone would schedule a demo with him, what he would do is send that recipient or that demo a piece of content prior to meeting with him. So, for example, fiberglass pools versus saltwater pools. So what he would do is send him that content so he could help educate his demo before they met. This is no differently than doing a pre-listing packet or a pre-buyer packet in our reviews, right? Now, here are the results. He had an over 90% closing ratio to the demos he scheduled or sent the content to ahead of time. And the ones he didn't send the content ahead of time, he had like less than a 10% close ratio. And that's what he started calling assignment selling. Now, anytime you have content, imagine if you had a for sale by owner, how to sell your house without an agent. I would definitely send that for sale by owner, that piece of content, before I met with them. So you had a piece of content on your site about an expired listing. It's a case study of a previous expired listings that you converted and sold. I would have the case study and I would send them that piece of content prior to meeting with them. If I had a listing presentation, I would send them my learning center, my seller learning center, which is a 6-step series of videos that shows them the whole selling process. Point being is that I would send them content to help convert the sale or the listing at the time of the appointment. That's what assignment selling is, according to Marcus Sheridan. So that's how we use real estate content. Now, real estate content will be boring. It's probably the least engaged that you're going to have on social media, but it's the one that generates the most amount of conversions on your website. So creating real estate content is great, but the only other problem with it is you might run out of stuff to say eventually. There's no longevity of real estate content to create because you can only talk about what you do so many ways before you exhaust that. Doesn't mean you can't use that content over again. It just means that most people are going to be limited to the amount of real estate content that they can create. That's why creating real estate content on the buying process or the selling process or whatever process it is around our business is just one type of video you can create. So let's go on to the next. And if you have any questions on that, go ahead and write into our site, leave a message right here in the podcast, and I will definitely respond to you and send you an email. The next type of video that we can create are what we call community informational. These videos are more to generate hyper-local search, hyper-local traffic to become the digital expert in your town. And we call these community informational videos because what they are designed to do is to rank on YouTube and create a lot of content around the same keywords that really allow you to become the digital mayor of your town. So community informational series like the cost of living in Chicago, the pros and cons of living in Chicago, closing costs in Chicago, renting versus owning in Chicago, the top 3 neighborhoods to live in Chicago, the good, the bad, the ugly of Chicago, Chicago moving advice. See, it's like having a bunch of different content around the same keywords. And typically that would be what we call a YouTube informational series. Again, if your goal is to generate YouTube leads and you have to search, like if you're located in a state like Florida, like Texas, like Arizona, like Nevada, where a lot of people are relocating to, then that might very well be a very good video strategy for you to get involved with. So community informational. Now, what type of content do people typically search on YouTube? Well, it's usually in the ballpark of living in, insert city name, or moving to, insert city name, real estate for sale, best neighborhoods in city name, and typically a variation of just those 4 terms. So when you look at the real estate business, there's only a certain amount of content you can really create around it. And the key is not creating videos that you think are cool. It's about creating videos people search for. Don't do what I did. I started creating a lot of content in 2011, 2012 about what I thought was cool. Guess what? Nobody found them. So again, the strategy behind determining what type of content to create is extremely important. And that's what I would say. If you're looking at doing a YouTube series, hit up the community informational videos. Moving in and living in series. If you need the scripts for that, reach out. We got 7, 10 of each. But when it comes to creating content, we just went through 2 different types. Real estate content, so basically on the process. And the second one is going to be creating a ton of community and content around your city, around your state, around your geographic area. So now what we're going to do is switch over into not so much informational videos, but let's just go into more of a community series and talk a little bit more about the purposes of these. Community series does sort of the opposite of what the educational series would be, or the real estate content series. You see, both of those, real estate content and community informational content, both demonstrate you're a local expert. One's in process, the other is in the geographic local marketplace. But community videos do the complete opposite. They're there to sort of position you more as a digital celebrity of your town as opposed to expert. And some of these videos you can do are anything that go in your community. And the goal of these styles of videos are to do nothing else than A, don't let your database forget what you do for a living, and B, create a lot of content around your city name or your geographic search. So let me explain, start on the first one. And a lot of you have probably seen these in the past. And business owner interviews. Business owner interviews get a ton of views on social media if they're the right ones. But the business interviews that don't get views are the inspector business owner interview, the mortgage broker, the insurance agent. Pick businesses that are fun and interesting that match your brand, not businesses that coincide and are part of the real estate process. I see that happen a lot. And that's why the last lender video you did or the interview didn't get any engagement. Well, it's just damn boring. If you're going to do business owner interviews, pick the business like Mary Lou's Pancake House on the corner of 5th and 3rd that everybody knows. That video will do a lot better than a real estate content video. And that's the point. Community videos tend to be used more for engagement on social media as opposed to lead generation and or conversion. I like doing community videos as a don't forget I exist strategy to my database. All right. Remember that 10 to 15% of the people who see your content will be moving this year themselves, and 100% of them have a referral for you. So ultimately, the goal on a community series is consistency to the same audience over time. And business owner interviews are just one of those different styles of videos that you can actually create. Now, the other reason I really like business owner interviews is because the business owner will share it for you. They are literally a walking referral source. Most business owners are. They get it. So that means that when you create a TV commercial for them, trust me, not only do they think the world of you and increase really good chances of them starting to send you referrals, but they're also exposing your brand to their whole community of people as well. It's just really, really good exposure. So you really can't beat that. Now, another style of community video we're going to go for what we'd call a neighborhood video. These are neighborhood tours. I love neighborhood tours. Anything that like a best neighborhood series, I love. It's visual. People want to see what the neighborhood looks like. They want to experience the neighborhood. And you can only do that through viewing it and taking a walkthrough. That's what a neighborhood tour video does, which could also be known as a point of interest type video. Maybe you're doing a new development, a 55 plus community, for example. Neighborhood tours are great because people online look for that type of stuff. They're fun to do. They're engaging, positions you as the local expert, and it markets your database in a very fun way. So again, don't overthink it. Like when you're creating community content, no matter what you're doing in the community will remind people that you're in real estate. So you don't necessarily have to. That's the whole purpose of doing these. And you have to remember, guys, why people do these types of series. If you're a referral-based agent and you're up and running, a community series is probably much better for you than a real estate series because you've already built your brand, you've built your authority. However, on the flip side, you could be an agent for 15 years, and if you never create a piece of real estate content, you might want to start with that. My point being is that there isn't a shortage of what type of content to create. It's only which type makes you excited. That makes sense? I'll say it one more time. It's not about what content to create. It's about what type of content really makes you excited. And that's the key to creating video consistently. One more video I want to chat about is going to be what I call a case study. case study is a little bit of both worlds. Instead of saying just listed, just sold, why don't you start saying, this 45-year-old homeowner just got his first house and her daughter her first bedroom of her own. Here's how. They remember how you do it. And that is the key for any of these styles of videos, folks. So client testimonials are great. Just real briefly, we listed out about 6-7 different types of videos that you can create. And it's never about what you're creating as much as that whatever you're creating, you're very authentic with, that you're having fun doing. And never before in the history of mankind has a little 6-inch by 2-inch device had the ability to make a grown man buckle at the knees. The question is why is that? Well, the reason for that isn't because of any other reason other than you're uncomfortable with what you want to talk about on video. And it's never about what we talk about, it's about how we say it. No one remembers what you do, they remember how you do it. And nobody remembers what you did, they remember about how you made them feel during the course of transaction. And video at the end of the day, folks, is just a way to generate more impact than any other channel. And that's why it works. People often ask, how do you become this digital celebrity? Well, why is it that everyone who's on video consistently, why are they cool? You ever noticed that? Like, we tend to respect people that we see on video all the time. Why is that? Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be respected? Get on video. Do you want to be more known in what you do? Get on video. If you believe that you are the best person for the job in your market, I'm talking right at you right now. If you truly believe that you are the best real estate agent, lender, investor, and you truly believe in the service and the product that you fulfill, it is your duty to go out and let the world know about it. If not, you're in violation of your own fiduciary duty to the general public that you have. And the truth is that if you're not marketing your database, somebody else is. If you're not marketing your business, somebody else in your community is. So it's not a matter of deciding, should I get on video, as much as it is deciding what type of videos would I like to start with. And there is no shortage of that content out there by any means. I wanted to give you guys a shorter podcast today and walk you through the ins and outs of the pros and cons of different styles of video. And don't overthink this whole video thing. This isn't hard. You shouldn't be shy to ever talk about it to a buyer or seller about your services. And if you're not, you shouldn't be shy to do it in front of video either. It's just a matter of you haven't figured out the what, where, when, how about video first. So folks, we'd love to help you with these services. I hope this really pointed out the picture of different styles of videos to go out and do. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you need help with your video services and you need help getting started, reach out and contact one of us. Contact a dude. We provide scripting, editing, and the distribution services without breaking the bank. And there's not a less expensive, more impactful way to do video as an agent or in the real estate business, as a lender and investor right now. And I say that with 100% confidence, because just like my own advice, I believe it is my job to let the world know what we do for a living because we are that confident in our services, just like it's your job to let your local world know what you do for a living. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Real Estate Marketing Dude Podcast. Go ahead and make sure you subscribe to our channel. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And if you ever need any help with this stuff, reach out and schedule a demo with the dude. Until next week, we'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.
Today's episode may be over, but we have plenty more to keep you busy. To get your complete blueprint for building out a real marketing plan for your real estate business, head over to realestatemarketingdude.com and see if you have what it takes to really become more than just a typical agent. Are you the next real estate marketing dude? Find out here next time on Real Estate Marketing Dude.